Scenario 13. Quality of life. Real Scene 1. Etiquette.
Manners are made up of trivialities of deportment, which can be easily learned if one does not happen to know them. Manner is personality, the outward manifestation of one's innate character and attitude towards life. My goal. Upon completion of Scenario 13, I will have learned how to use irregular verbs and to make statements in simple past tense. The reading material will introduce me to some common rules of etiquette.
Introductory questions. 1. How would you define the word etiquette? 2. Do you know the meaning of dress code? 3. In your opinion, is it important to have good manners? Why? 4. Do you think people with more money have better manners?
What is upper class society? Society is an ambiguous term. It may mean much or nothing. Every human being, unless he lives alone in a cave, is a member of a society of one sort or another, and societies can vary greatly in complexity and scope. Therefore, it might be a good idea to define what is meant by best society and why its authority is recognised. Upper class society tends to be related to aristocracy, and it is composed by families and communities which have existed for a long period of time. Many of these have obtained a high degree of cultivation. Social groups that have the widest association with world cultivation rather than the longest association represent the upper class society in America. Cultivation is always the basic attribute of the upper class society. To the general public, a purse or a lot of money is synonymous with high position, a theory dear to the heart of the yellow press and promoted in the social functions of screen drama. While it is true that best society is comparatively rich, and it's true that a hostess who constantly and lavishly entertains will shine more brilliantly than her less affluent sister in the eyes of the press, it is the latter sister who, through her quality of birth, her poise and her culture, is possibly the jewel in the social crown.
Grammar Structure 1. Simple past statements. I worked yesterday. I didn't work on Monday. You studied French. You didn't study French. He played tennis. She didn't play tennis. We visited our friends. We didn't visit our friends. You walked to school. You didn't walk to school. They exercised on Friday. They didn't exercise on Friday. We ate pizza. We didn't eat pizza. Simple past tense is used to express the idea that an action started and finished at a specific time in the past.
Writing exercise. Complete the sentences. Add the verb in the correct form. A. It was warm, so I off my jacket. The verb take. B. The speech wasn't very good. I it very much. The verb enjoy. C. I knew Beth was very busy, so I her. Verb disturb. D. I was very tired, so I to bed early. The verb go. E. The bread was very hard. I any of it. Verb eat. F. Tom wasn't thirsty, so he anything. Verb drink. Gee, it was a funny joke, but nobody... Verb. Laugh.
American business culture. Guidelines for business codes. For a first meeting, you cannot go wrong if you dress conservatively. Afterwards, you may want to follow the example of your American counterparts. In the United States business culture, dress codes tends to vary. In some parts of the country, the East in particular, most people wear business suits. In other areas, such as the West Coast, a more relaxed approach to dressing is the norm. Executives in most regions of the country, however, usually dress quite formally. Business dress or dresses are often the standard attire for women. Pantsuits in classic styles are also acceptable. Accessorizing, which adds flair to otherwise simple outfits, is also common. When not working, feel free to dress casually. In their leisure hours, you will notice that Americans wear a wide range of casual items, such as running shoes, t-shirts, jeans, shorts, baseball caps, etc. Grammar structure 2. Irregular verbs. An irregular verb is a verb that cannot be conjugated using the standard patterns. Go, went, gone. I went to the Monet exhibition yesterday. Drink, drank, drunk. The Queen Mother drank a glass of gin last week. Buy, bought, bought. The United States of America bought the state of Louisiana from France for $15 million in 1803. See, saw, seen. I saw a falling star. Eat, ate, eaten. He ate Thai food yesterday. Get, got, gotten. We got an ancient sword. Have, had, had. Henry VII had 8 wives. Be was, were been. The Eiffel Tower was built in 1889.
Writing. Exercise 3. Complete the chart with the past tense of these irregular verbs. Infinitive. Bring, come, cut, drive, fly, fall, feel, get, hear, keep, make, read, see, think, write.
The imitation and the genuine. New York City society, more than any other in the world except for Paris, loves to be amused, thrilled, and surprised, all at the same time, and will receive with open arms anyone who can perform these astounding feats. Do not underestimate the ability that can achieve it. A clever wit, an arresting originality, a talent for entertaining that almost amounts to genius, and gold poured literally like rain are the least requirements. Puritan America, on the other hand, demands as a ticket for admission to her best society the qualifications of birth, manners, and cultivation. It clasps its hands tightly around her slim, trim waist, and announces severely that New York's best is, in its opinion, very bad indeed. But this is because Puritan America, as well as the general public, mistakes the jester for the queen. As a matter of fact, best society is not at all like a court with a special queen or king, nor is it confined to any place or group, but may be better described as an unlimited brotherhood which spreads over the entire surface of the globe, the members of which are invariably people of cultivation and worldly knowledge who have not only proper manners, but a perfect manner. Manners are made up of trivialities of deportment which can be easily learned if one does not happen to know them. Manner is personality, the outward manifestation of one's innate character and attitude toward life. A gentleman, for instance, will never be ostentatious or overbearing any more than he will ever be servile, because these attributes never animate the impulses of a well-bred person. A man whose manners suggest the grotesque is invariably a person of imitation rather than of real position. Etiquette must, if it is to be of more than a trifling use, include ethics as well as manners. Certainly, what one is of far greater importance than what one appears to be. Acknowledgement of etiquette is, of course, essential to decent behavior, just as clothing is essential to decent appearance. However, just as a person chooses clothing without consciously aiming for decent appearance, so good etiquette should be practiced without consciously working at decent behavior. It must be a matter of instinct rather than obvious obedience.
The fashion in South America. If you go to Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, or Colombia for business, remember to check beforehand the appropriate attire for your specific destination. Possibly, the warmer regions in Colombia will allow less formal attire, but it is always important not to forget elegance or to exercise good taste, because your Colombian associates will notice the way you are dressed and judge you accordingly. Colombians view a person's clothing as an indicator of status, so be sure to dress conservatively but with class. Ensure that your clothes are fashionable. On the other hand, if you aren't traveling for business but rather for pleasure, you will notice that in recent years, Colombia has begun to shine in the world of fashion, due to the development of its textile industry and the quality of its cotton. The country has been able to attract some of the largest franchises of many well-known designers like Chevanon, Tommy Hilfiger, and Levi.
Research Spot. Look for more information about Number 1. Dress codes. Number 2. Table etiquette. Number 3. Rules of etiquette in other countries, such as Korea, Japan, or Middle East.